Coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, and the place where metal forgot to die.
This is the Here Lies Metal Bootymania Notes New Music Review. I am Samantha R.
And I'm Maledictus, and we shall be your overlords for today and all eternity. Welcome! Today, I have some very bad news. We are going to review Atomic Drop with Bootymania.
That's bad news?
No, I was kidding. It's not bad news. Very good news, because this is the second review of Atomic Drop.
Yes, I think this is a Here Lies Metal first, and that we're doing a second review of an artist. We reviewed Atomic Drop's, I think, 2020 album, Wicked Is My Love, and now we're here. There was actually an album last year that we didn't review, but now we're back reviewing.
We can't get all your albums.
Basic bio: Atomic Drop is, as per the archives, a black and thrash metal band from Virginia Beach, Virginia, USA. One-man project, Lucas Taylor on everything, and this is his fourth album. And Bootymania, it came out on June 10th, independently on Bandcamp, CD, and streaming.
All right, I know. Now it's time for the review. And which brings us to the 5-point bidirectional classification scale, including the categories of genre loyalty, listenability, production style, music complexity, and just plain fun. And neither of the sides of these scales are good and bad. Let's get started.
Okay. So our first scale, true to nonconformist, we're going to say it's a 4 on the nonconformist side. The archives has this as black and thrash, and we do have black thrash, but we're blending even more styles of that. We have just like kind of basic thrash, like pizza, like simple fun thrash.
Pizza.
We have the black thrash. We have some black metal. We have heavy metal also, and we have power metal on this album, I would say. The black thrash is mainly kind of in the verse, a lot of the chugging on guitar, and the vocal is black thrash for maybe 75% of the album, but the rest is this kind of clean vocal, oftentimes kind of a goofy clean vocal, and a catchy clean vocal. And as you know, there's a lot of also, heavy metal solos, very power metal solos, I would say. We'll talk about those later. Yes, but I would say the only thing keeping this from a total 5 for nonconformist is that we are blending styles, but we are not bending styles. This is just putting a bunch of styles that are kind of preformed together, and they're all metal styles, except for maybe like a little synth ditty kind of on the last track.
No, I think actually maybe a sample actually of like a video game or a show.
Yeah, it did sound a bit like video game music.
Help us out here, maker of this. Pizza thrash. I like the sound of that. Pizza thrash. Is that a thing in the metal world? Pizza thrash?
I think it's coming up.
Yeah.
Or maybe it happened already.
Is it, maybe they should be like bad pizza thrash and good pizza. Not like the music. I mean,
I'm pretty sure there's a band out there that's about pizza.
Yeah, I'm sure, right? And maybe they should sing about bad pizza and good pizza, because that's a very important thing in the universe. That's very important to me.
Okay, moving on.
All right.
Sonic Terror to Distorted Pop, our listenability scale. This is also very rare. We're gonna have a 3 here, just right in the middle, in between Sonic Terror and Distorted Pop. I'm gonna say this, like, what's pulling it into the terror end is the harsh vocal and the mean thrash sections. There are some mean thrash sections on here, and it's definitely a significant portion of the album that I can't call it distorted pop. However, there is so much heavy metal, there is so much like catchiness to it, whether it's in the vocal melodies or the guitar lines, that it can't be total Sonic Terror either. So we're right here in the middle. We're enjoying all, both worlds with this album. But yes, also I would say, definitely a lot of care to make the riffs sound distinct songs, and there's also conventional song structures, which I find makes things more listenable and approachable.
Yeah, upon listening to it, you kind of want to give it a more Sonic Terror grade as you first begin, but as the album goes on, you kind of move further away from that, and you end up somewhere in the middle of this scale, as it were left. The music is very pleasant, theoretically, and the solos are very sound, and the chord structures are there. It's music. It's not non-music. It's music, right?
We only review music.
Yeah, we only review music, not non-music, right? But the overall sound is pretty crystal clear and very audible. It's speedy, but also steady and precise at the same time. We'll get into more of that in the production, obviously. But all I can say is, one thing that jumped out at me is Lucas, the artist. He has kind of a Paul Stanley quality to his voice, which is a very party sound, right? It's a fun party sound of a voice, and it's perfect for pro wrestling. I mean, Paul Stanley should have just sang all the themes for pro wrestling, right, with that big stupid voice of his, So yeah, it works so well. So like, voice, the choice of your voice is perfect for what's going on here for the theme. So I have to make that very clear.
Okay, our next scale is a production scale. Maledictus, what do you think?
All right, this is very important. So I give it a 4. And I've discussed. I did an interview with Lucas. You could check it out on our YouTube right here. I'll put a link to that. And I was obviously interested in his recording techniques because I thought even the last album we did also sounded very good. And so I'm pretty confident with how he's doing this. I believe, unless he changed everything and made so many millions of dollars off the last album that he bought a whole new rig. But otherwise, I think for a one-man project, which this is, using drum samples and everything sounds very clear, like the vocals, the guitars, the bass, it's all like very clear and very concise. There's a lot of effects over the guitar that give it that large kind of sound, that large kind of 80s sound, which really worked well. I think he knows how to use his equipment. I think Atomic Drop is getting the most possible out of a simple home recording device and software. Now, I'm not going to get, but overall though, like in the end, I'm not going to get this confused with like a real, like a super high production studio recording. I mean, it kind of lacks the warmth of that naturally. You're never going to get that. But for what he did here, there's a lot of, skill and precision here. And there's no kind of Fisher-Price sloppiness in any of his recording. It's all precise. He got everything down. He got everything perfect in every take. There's no mistakes you can hear that I'm aware of. So, I rate this pretty high production for how he's doing this.
Okay, our next scale is the note scale. We count the notes. And I'm going to say it's a 4 for too many notes. The only note I put here is guitar solos. That is not to say, of course, it is a lot of very fast songs on this. The Black Thrash is definitely very fast, but the guitar solos are just kind of off the chain.
Yeah, he has a lot of time for solos, it seems. The solos are wild and crazy and long and fun and numerous. There's a lot of solos, a lot of crazy solos, well done solos, just how we like them. Obviously that fits this outrageous thing. Wrestling is kind of an outrageous subject, right? And these guitar solos fit the theme of, think of like Hulk Hogan there doing something ridiculous. It's a guitar solo. It's a dog with sunglasses. It's fun. And when you're recording such outrageous solos, all the notes were landed, with a perfect consistency, and like there's a lot of accuracy here. They're well done solos. As for the riffage, like I said before, it's mostly speedy and thrashy. It's not proggy or anything. Like the chord structures aren't terribly complicated. It is what it is. It's metal, and I gotta say, I think not a lot of people have the balls to do solos like Lucas does in the year 2022. So all I gotta say to you is never change, my friend. Keep,
I disagree. A lot of people are doing solos like this.
Really? Like it's ridiculous.
We literally reviewed an album that did this year.
Yeah, but I feel like like a lot of people aren't like a lot.
The solo will never die. And
the solo will never die. But some solos are not all created equally, and these solos are ridiculous. Ridiculous.
All right, moving on to the fun scale. And yeah, it's a 1 for fun. It's fun. Sure. It's about wrestling. It sounds fun. It's a party time. Even the dark stuff is kind of like I feel like that whenever the dark stuff happens, the dark black thrash, like that part's about the heel or something.
Yeah,
and that's fun too. So it's all fun. 1 for fun.
The heel's the bad guy. This whole album is a dog with sunglasses. Wrestling is fun for most people. I think even those like crazy wrestling geeks, like I think it's fun for them too, even though they're like really serious about it. I wish I got more into wrestling growing up. I think I would have had more fun in my life. I would have been a more fun, cool guy, right? But I remember when we did the last album, I kind of found a little more info as to what the songs are about. I even found like some specific samples he used on YouTube. And this time I'm not having much luck in finding like what these titles mean. So, if you can help us out here.
Maybe he's developing his own storyline.
Maybe, right? Maybe you could be a writer for Vince McMahon there, right? So yeah, who knows? So yeah, that's who knows? So yeah, if you want to give us a comment about what it is, I'm curious as to what the song titles mean. So yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the art.
Artwork.
The artist is Rudy Yanto, who is a pretty prolific Indonesian metal albums artist. I think he mostly does like those insane, South Asian brutal death metal albums.
It has that look to it.
It definitely has that look.
I'm not thinking of wrestling when I
gotta say, there's a little bit of a disconnect.
This is not fun.
This image and the content.
Where is the dog with sunglasses? This is not fun at all. This is like they're worshiping. Like it looks like he's like this anointed one, and all the hands are like Jesus. Like they're all touching Jesus. They're like, you are the chosen one, right? Like because he's got the halo around his head.
Yes, it's definitely a bit biblical looking.
And he's got a crown of thorns, but he got nails in his head instead. It's like a crown of thorns, but they nailed the things into his head, like the spikes into his head, right? He's got nails in his head. And all these hands, these disembodied, decomposing hands are touching him like he's the savior. So that's what I'm getting from this art. What do you think?
What do I think? I like the background color.
Yeah, it's like it's rusty.
I like that background a lot.
It's like rust on metal. I like that. That's cool.
Like, I'm not really a huge fan of this like style of stuff. Like if I see a death metal album with this kind of cover, I'm usually like,
yeah, like, is it good? I don't know. Is that a good death metal album?
It's probably not to my taste. I feel like I can hear the very clean death metal.
It sounds like clean death metal.
I can hear
right?
the drum clicking. And
yes, it's clicky drums. That's what it means. No offense, dude. No offense, my man. It's not you.
And is that a new logo?
Yeah, right. Is that yeah? Because that's more like a death metal logo. Because it's logo before here. Let's go on.
And I will say, I feel like I didn't hear any death metal on the album, but
that's definitely a new variation of his logo, like a different variation of it. I would say, looking at his logo on Metal Archives.
Okay, but maybe this is like this is a wrestling star, and this is like the fans and the industry pulling him apart.
Maybe.
Right? It's a rough life.
Oh yeah, I could if you could probably explain the correlation with wrestling in that image. You probably could, and I would believe you. Whatever you said. But it's challenging to me. But maybe it's like because wrestlers are kind of like these gods, right? And it's just sort of like a dark sort of depiction of that. Maybe like this demonic depiction.
I think we got it. That's it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I think I know why you did it, but I'd like to hear your story of it. So whatever. Yeah.
All right. Well, in conclusion, Atomic Drop Bootymania.
Bootymania.
What does that mean?
Why is it Bootymania? Yeah, is that a wrestling? It's probably wrestling. I would imagine that's like a.
We honestly don't know that much about wrestling.
I know.
I feel like I consume more like commentary, like media about wrestling, like comedy about wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of comedy about wrestling than I've seen actual wrestling. I've seen documentaries about wrestling.
Yeah, I think like like a lot of comedians I follow are into wrestling and they'll talk about wrestling, but so I don't really they'll make some joke that maybe I'll get, but like for the most part I'm not going to get that deep into it, right?
But yeah, I enjoy this band a lot. It's nice. It's a great one-man project. Just doing a really good job as a one-man project. He's doing something pretty unique. He's blending all these styles. I feel like he's got his own sound at this point.
Yeah.
Of that blending of heavy metal with he's got this very distinct black thrash like version of black thrash he does.
Definitely has his own sound.
Yeah, it's a very cool guy to follow, and I just
check out his albums.
I enjoy it. It's fun, and I love fun shit. So
yeah, and for like a lot of all the one man guys we've done, this guy like definitely has one of the most high quality sounds for a one man guy, and me knowing what his rig is for the most part, it's pretty doing a pretty damn good job with it. I'll say. Pro level.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. This has been the Here Lies Metal Too Many Notes New Music Review. I was Samantha.
I was Maledictus. Make sure to follow all of our stuff on the interwebs and subscribe to it and stuff. And we'll see you with the next episode.
Good night.